stage was huge. The cheers were deafening. The spotlight shone on me, and the singer Lorraine in her sparkling dress walked over. Then she reached out and invited me up on stage. What? She invited you on stage? Shh, I don't want to brag too much. But we did a duet of her latest song. That's awesome! Do you have a video? Let me see! No, it was a private concert for Lorraine's special guests, so recording was forbidden. If there's another chance, I'll get you a ticket. My friend nodded excitedly.
Hey, Cassie, isn't that the time you jumped on stage, grabbed Lorraine's mic, and got thrown out by security?
Quiet, Enzo! Oh, hi there. I'm Cassie, 16, from Toronto, and I dream of becoming a famous singer. But before I can achieve that, I have to deal with the mess I've created with all my outrageous lies. Don't forget to like and subscribe before the story begins. Music has been everything to me since I was little. I love singing, and I'm ready to sing anytime, anywhere, though most of the time my audience isn't very receptive. Stop that racket or I'll kick you out of the house!
Hey, keep it down!
Well, actually I did have one exceptional audience member. Enzo, my best friend. We've known each other since we were kids playing in the rain. I'm an only child and Enzo has only a sister who's been studying abroad for years, so we've become inseparable. Anyway, I admit I still have a lot to learn, but I've never thought of giving up on my dream of becoming a singer. My idol is Lorraine, a world-famous singer whose concert tickets sell out in just 3 seconds. One special thing about us is that we coincidentally share the same eye color and hair color, so we look quite alike. I could even hold a concert pretending to be Lorraine. Alright, I won't do that. On my first day of high school, my eyes immediately glued to a poster on the bulletin board recruiting members for the music club. At the same time, I overheard some hot gossip. A talent agent would be attending the showcase for new club members this year. That was all I needed to hear. I quickly signed up. I practiced so hard for the audition. Finally, the day came for me to showcase my golden voice. But then a little accident happened.
Next contestant, please!
I stepped onto the stage, confidently singing and dancing to the music. The judges' faces turned sour, and one even raised a hand to stop. But I ignored the silent music and kept going like there was no tomorrow. Right then, the unlucky mic slipped from my hand and flew straight into Jasper's face, the club president sitting at the judges' table. As a result, I was immediately disqualified. I couldn't accept defeat like that. I had to use every trick in the book to salvage my chance. Please, give me a chance!
The audition is over. See you next year.
It was just a small accident. Can't you overlook it? Considering my singing and performance style.
You'd still be disqualified. Who do you think you are? You sing like a cow mooing and still have the nerve to beg?
Jasper's words struck me like a lightning bolt. In a fit of anger, I blurted out, "You'll regret treating Lorraine's sister like this." Jasper immediately turned back to look at me with his bruised eye full of doubt. Then he suddenly cornered me against the wall. Excuse me?
What did you just say?
I'm Lorraine's sister. You know, the famous idol who sells out concert tickets in seconds? Don't tell me you don't know her.
Of course I know. Lorraine is the idol of all the students in the school. But her sister? What proof do you have?
I don't need to prove something that's obviously true. Anyone can see it, but if you insist, fine. I'll bring you a childhood photo of us tomorrow. Limited edition. Oh, my blabbermouth. Well, now I had to follow through. The next day, I brought a childhood photo and an album signed by Lorraine, which I bought from another fan. Jasper finally agreed to let me into the club. Don't ask me where the photo came from. Photoshop is handy for times like this. I excitedly shared the good news with Enzo, but after hearing the full story, he became very concerned.
I don't think that's a good idea, Cassie. If Jasper finds out you lied, things will get really bad.
I had no other choice. Come on, Enzo. Maybe Jasper will realize I'm giving him a chance to polish a rough diamond. However, the problem wasn't just with Jasper. Just one day later, news spread throughout the entire school. I became the center of attention. Some even volunteered to do my homework for the entire semester just to get a ridiculous doormat I claim that Lorraine often uses at home.
Thanks so much, Cassie. How about the nougat candies I sent her through you last time? Did she enjoy them?
She loved them. She even asked me to pass this thank you note to you. Keep it secret, okay? Not everyone gets this privilege. In the music club, I was warmly welcomed thanks to the Little Sister of Lorraine title. Tell us more about Lorraine. What does she like to eat for breakfast? Does she talk or fart in her sleep?
I bet even her snores make a melodious tune.
Well, Lorraine loves Japanese food. She could eat sashimi 3 meals a day and never get bored. So about her digestion, you know. As for sleep, she always has the lights on and loud music playing. At first it bothered me, but I got used to it. She's a singer after all. What's wrong? Are you sure? Lorraine once said on TV that she can't eat raw food. She also said she's very sensitive to light and noise when she sleeps. Oh, well, actually, I forgot to mention, that was a long time ago. We don't live together anymore. The life of a superstar has changed her a lot.
You guys are asking the wrong questions. Why doesn't anyone wonder why Lorraine has never mentioned having a sister?
Everyone turned to look at me. I tried to present the patched-up story in my head as naturally as possible. The truth is, our parents didn't support Lorraine becoming a singer. They were worried I'd follow in her footsteps, so they separated us and told Lorraine not to mention me on TV. But of course, I couldn't deny my passionate love for music. That's why I'm here. Oh, poor you two! I had temporarily succeeded in manipulating everyone, but the problems continued during singing practice. I kept missing beats, singing off-key, causing a whole team to repeat rehearsals. They must have been wondering why the sister of a top idol sang so poorly, and Jasper was furious.
You're driving me nuts! Practice properly before the showcase rehearsal, or just get out of here!
It was terrible. I could only run to Enzo to complain, and surprisingly, he offered to help me practice. For the next few days, Enzo and I practiced singing together in the gym. Oh boy, Enzo's voice left me speechless. How did I not know he could sing so well? Thanks to Enzo pushing me, I practiced diligently and felt myself improving every day. At the showcase rehearsal, for the first time, I received applause from my clubmates and a barely acceptable nod from Jasper. However, he still insisted on throwing a wrench into my plans. As I was about to leave with Enzo...
Cassie, I want you to invite Lorraine to our showcase. What?
What?
Hey, you're being unreasonable. Stop exploiting her. It's just inviting your sister to watch your performance. What's the big deal?
Out of options, I had to firmly assure Jasper that Lorraine would come. I knew I'd fallen into the trap I had set for myself. On the day of the showcase, I quickly spotted the talent agent sitting in the audience. Enzo kept telling me to focus on my performance, but I couldn't stop thinking about how Jasper would expose me if Lorraine didn't show up. Just then, the auditorium door swung open, and through the blinding light, a figure walked in. OMG, it's Lorraine! The screams drowned out the music, and the bodyguards had to rush out immediately before Lorraine got mobbed. Jasper was utterly shocked. As for me, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. I immediately composed myself and delivered a flawless performance. At the end, Lorraine even came on stage and gave a speech as if she really was my sister. It was like a dream. But then, I met Enzo and also Lorraine in the waiting room.
Lorraine is my sister.
What? Enzo? So the sister you said was studying abroad was actually... Why didn't you help me from the start? How dare you blame my brother when he went out of his way asking me to save you from a massive embarrassment? Remember, I haven't even dealt with the fact that you impersonated me and spread lies. How ungrateful. Lorraine's words felt like a slap in the face.
I didn't want you to keep lying, Cassie. I know you can do much better if you try practicing instead of using lies as a crutch, but maybe I expected too much.
Enzo quietly left the waiting room, leaving me alone in shock. The final blow to that terrible day was that the talent agent didn't pick me. All the effort and lies I'd built up over time were for nothing. The next day, I was walking home feeling dejected when I came across an old woman selling apples. After taking a bite of the apple she offered, my head started spinning. I only managed to see her peel off her disguise before I passed out. When I woke up, I found myself tied up on a rooftop surrounded by some strangers, including Jasper? What are you doing? Let me go! He laughed menacingly and shoved a phone screen in my face. What's that? Can't see...
Open your eyes wide!
It was a ransom message demanding Lorraine cancel tonight's concert immediately? There were also pictures of me tied up and unconscious.
I had my suspicions since there was no information about Lorraine's family, but I never thought you stupid girl would walk right into my trap.
But why are you doing this?
Justice. Lorraine doesn't deserve to be famous. I should have been the one to win the contest and become a superstar. Let's see how long her bubble of fame lasts.
From this rooftop, you could see the outdoor stadium where Lorraine's concert was set to take place. Jasper eagerly waited, but 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then 20 minutes passed. I kept pleading for my life until I was hoarse, but there was no sign of Lorraine's concert being canceled.
No, this can't be. Is it because there was a problem with the network, so the message hasn't arrived yet?
Lorraine isn't going to save me. Let me go and we can talk this out.
What? No way she'd sacrifice her own sister.
I'm not her sister! I'm sorry, Jasper, but I've been lying ever since I first met you. I love singing and have always wanted to be a singer, but I know now I've been going about it the wrong way. No, but I mean, we could calmly discuss this, please!
You little brat! How dare you deceive me! Stop!
Enzo rushed up from behind and tackled Jasper, then deftly dodged, causing the other two thugs to crash into each other. We backed up to the edge of the rooftop as Jasper got back on his feet.
You'll both meet your end today. I'll count to 3, then we jump, okay? 1, 2...
Are you crazy? Ah! Enzo suddenly grabbed me and jumped. I felt like my soul left my body until I landed on something soft and bouncy. We had landed on an inflatable cushion. I was alive! It turned out that when Jasper sent the message, Lorraine was busy preparing to go on stage. Enzo saw the message and quickly called the police before rushing to the rooftop to save me. In the end, Jasper got his bitter punishment in jail, while Lorraine's concert was a smashing success. It's true that in any situation, the best weapon for victory is your own hard work, rather than trying to create a fake perfect version of yourself, right?
That sounds cool. Hard work is great, but you also need to cut down on the tall tales.
Don't worry, with you around to remind me, I'll be just fine.
Looks like you owe someone a date for all that saving.
I held a shiny electric guitar in my hands, my fingers gliding effortlessly, the strings vibrating with passionate melodies, setting the space around me ablaze. I closed my eyes, letting myself flow with each rhythm, each powerful riff pouring fire into my heart. Wow, this was life. And then, oh no, what's wrong? Why isn't there any sound? Riley! Oh crap, it was Mom! Then Mom picked up my beloved electric guitar and smashed it in half. Hi, I'm Riley, 15 years old. You must be pretty shocked seeing what just happened, right? But don't worry, it happened all the time. This was only the 3rd time this month. I grew up in a pretty unusual family. We were triplets. There was Otis, the eldest, who was so gentle he was almost boring. Then me, and finally Fiona. I might have been clueless about many things, but since childhood, I'd always known 2 things about Fiona. 1, she was incredibly dumb, and 2, she hated me. Since I was little, I loved boys' games like catching bugs, playing in the mud, and climbing walls, etc. This accidentally annoyed a girly girl like Fiona, and she would always tattle on me to Mom. Once she even bit her own hand and blamed it on me, getting me a good spanking from Mom. In those moments, Dad would always come to my rescue. To me, he was like a real-life superhero. Everything was peaceful until one day. Mom got into stock trading and ended up in huge debt, with debt collectors coming every day. Dad was so shocked that he had a stroke and passed away. My world collapsed. I was so angry at Mom. But then Mom came and cried, telling me she just wanted to move us to a better house and get us into better schools, which was why she got into that risky game. Seeing her in such a pitiful state, I felt incredibly sorry for her. Mom, what can I do to help? Yes. You know, you're the one I trust the most in the house, right? Otis is too gentle and Fiona is still immature. Riley, let's bring our family back on its feet together. So we had to move our beloved house and move to the countryside. I thought I'd have peaceful days in the countryside, but no. I had to do all the housework while Fiona just sat there, scrolling on her phone. Otis tried to help me, but Mom immediately stopped him, telling him to go study and that boys shouldn't touch household chores. Not only that, I had to mow the lawn and clean the cowshed. For goodness sakes, these hands were meant for playing guitar, not shoveling cow poop. Worse, while I was cleaning, I slipped and face planted into the cow poop. What a wonderful day, right? My arms were now swollen from weeding and I smelled horrible. Ew, don't you ever shower? And what's that stuff all over your face? You smell like a portable toilet. Stay away from me. Still smells better than your attitude. Saying that, I raised my hand to give the brat a lesson, but got stopped by Mom. Seeing that, I asked her straight up, Mom, this is so unfair. Why do I have to do all the work while... I'm sorry, I'll do it. You don't need to lift a finger anymore. My head hurts. I need to rest. That night, I walked past Mom's room and saw her still awake, sitting there looking desolate with a pile of bills on the table. At that moment, I felt awful. I was bickering with Fiona, but wasn't I just like her? From then on, I started following Mom's instructions. It wasn't fun at all, with Fiona still not lifting a finger and mocking me. But at least Otis helped me a bit, though secretly.
I can only help you this much. Now I have to go to extra classes.
The only thing that could cheer me up was practicing guitar. Phew, finally some time to relax. I was playing my favorite tune and imagining myself performing on a big stage when... Riley! Then Mom picked up my beloved electric guitar and smashed it in half. Mom, what are you doing? This is the third guitar you've smashed this month! Suddenly, Mom fell to her knees, covering her face and crying, leaving me stunned. I'm sorry. It's just the debt collectors just threatened me, so I lost control. It's okay. I'm here now. Riley, I know this isn't fair to you, but can we put this passion on hold? Because right now the most important thing is to make money. What do you mean, Mom? What should I do now? How about getting a part-time job? Otis is busy with his competitions and Fiona is preparing for the beauty contest. You are the only one I can rely on. I wanted to tell Mom that I had an upcoming guitar competition, but before I could say anything, she was already gone. So from then on, right after school, I had to rush to my part-time job, then use whatever little time I had left to practice guitar, of course, without Mom knowing. Luckily, Otis always had my back, so Mom didn't find out, but the thorn in my side was still there. Looks like you're finally being useful these days, helping out instead of just playing that noisy guitar all the time. So annoying. Stay calm, stay calm. I just had to keep working hard to pay off the family's debt and I wouldn't have to endure this anymore. Time flew and finally the performance day came. I gave my all on stage and the audience cheered wildly. Come on, if I could win, Mom wouldn't be able to stop me from following my passion.
And the winner of this year's Fiery Melodies competition is Riley Scott! Congratulations!
I couldn't believe my ears. All my hard work had finally paid off. As soon as I got the prize money, I rushed home to show Mom and gave it to her to help with the debts. Mom hugged me tight, tears streaming down her cheeks. That hug was so warm, it felt like I was reliving my childhood days. But the next morning, I was shocked to see Fiona all excited, ready to go out, holding the envelope I gave Mom last night. Hey, where are you going? Can't you see? Shopping, duh. Mom's feeling generous today. I was furious and was about to confront Mom when I saw a very elegant woman sitting and talking with her. She introduced herself as Baker, Dad's ex. After they broke up, she found out she was pregnant with Dad but couldn't afford to raise a child back then, so she had to give her up for adoption. Later, she went abroad for work for 5 years, but when she came back, she lost contact with Dad. I know I'm a terrible mother. Thank you for raising and protecting my daughter all these years. Miss Baker's words left me stunned. That daughter, it had to be me. And that was why Mom always made me do more than Otis and Fiona, always siding with them when they were wrong while I was always the one getting punished. Maybe that's why I always felt different from them. That night, I thought so much my head felt like it was going to explode, and I only fell asleep from sheer exhaustion. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of commotion outside. Fiona was dragging a suitcase and getting into a car with Miss Baker. I rushed down, but the car had already left. Mom wiped her tears and said, "I'm sorry for lying to you both, but Fiona is her biological daughter, and now it's time for her to go back to her real mom." I was extremely confused and had to lean on Otis to stay upright. This was ridiculous. Why was Fiona, the adopted one, pampered so much while I, the biological child, was treated so poorly? Fine. From now on, I was going to live my life my way, not caring about anyone else. I quit my part-time job and openly practiced guitar despite Mom's approval. I'm done with you! You're just like your father, stubborn as a mule. Let's see what you can achieve on your own. I felt so sad but tried to hold it in, and so Mom stopped caring about me. Only Otis stayed by my side.
Mom's like that. Don't be too stubborn or she'll blow up. It's scary.
Can you stop it already? How could you ever understand what I've been through? Things went on like that until one day I heard Mom talking on the phone with someone. Fiona, my love, how are you over there? I miss you so much. Oh, it was Fiona? Honestly, it's pretty boring, Mom. This family is rich and they have everything. Fiona, I'm sorry we had to be apart like this, but this was the only way I could give you a better life. Now it's just you, Otis, and that freak Riley left. Poor thing, she's such a weirdo, Mom. She's the one who should feel miserable, being away from her real mom all these years and treated like a servant without even knowing it. My heart felt like it was being squeezed. My legs trembled and I felt like I had no strength left. I collapsed, accidentally making a noise. Who's there? Oh, Riley, is that you? How dare you call me your daughter? You and your daughter are both snakes. Then she slapped me hard. You! I'm going to tell Miss Baker the truth. Oh, really? Go ahead. Let's see who would believe a nobody like you. Your dad was so naive, I tricked him into marrying me without him even realizing it. Then she grabbed my hair, tied me up, and gagged me. You know too much now. With you around, my daughter can't have peace. She only came up 3 times a day to feed me, then locked the door tightly again. A few days later, when I was at my most desperate, I suddenly heard a knock from the window. It was Otis. He climbed in through the window and untied me.
I could tell something shady was going on from Mom's voice, so I knew something must have happened to you. Now, let's get out of here, quick.
Otis led me down with a rope to the backyard, but as soon as we got down, there she was, waiting for us. Where do you think you're going? Otis, how dare you betray me? She's not even blood related. Lock her up for me now. Otis was sweating bullets, hesitating as he looked at Mom, then at me. Now! Didn't you hear what I said? Why are you always standing there like an idiot? Otis suddenly took my hand. Otis was still Otis. Nothing had changed, but I was wrong.
Even if we're not blood related, Riley is still the sister I love the most. And Mom, look at what you've become and what you've turned Fiona into.
You? How dare you speak to me like that?
Because these are the words I've wanted to say for so long. But because of your and Fiona's dominance, I've always had to hold back and become this weak person.
But I only wanted what's best for you.
What's best for us? That doesn't mean hurting others, Mom. What did Riley ever do wrong? And think about it. If we live in luxury on Riley's misery, do you think we'll end up happy? What goes around comes around, Mom.
She was completely shocked, probably something she never expected, and neither did I, that timid Otis would dare to stand up and speak his mind. I believed, even just a little, that Otis's words had touched her somehow. I quietly decided to leave because there was nothing more to say. Just then, we got news that Fiona had secretly taken Miss Baker's car to go out with friends and had an accident. Oh my gosh, Otis, I was wrong. I've been loving her the wrong way. After that, I went to Miss Baker, my biological mom, to tell her everything. I also suggested she do another DNA test, but she said it wasn't necessary, because the day she came to talk to Mom, she saw me and felt some kind of invisible bond. And so, I had a new family, loved in the right way. Otis and I still kept in touch, and he was focusing on studying to become a PhD. As for Fiona, she had to go to a reformatory for a few years. Since that incident, I hadn't seen Mom again. But on my last birthday, she sent me a letter with the prize money I'd won from the guitar competition inside. I apologized for everything. It was all in the past now. I decided to forgive to lighten my heart, because the most important thing is to live happily in the present, right?
I was hanging at the grocery section when I suddenly caught this dude acting all shady. Was he? Was he straight up shoplifting? I maneuvered my cart back and forth for a better look, and then bam! I rammed right into his side from behind, sending everything he stashed in his coat tumbling out. Whoops. No worries. Got a cart here. No need to stuff things in your jacket, dude. The guy looked at me all panicked. And when my hottest, most badass brother on the planet came running over, the thief quickly grabbed me by the neck.
Don't come any closer, or else.
Or else what, poor fish? I bit into his arm hard, making him yell out in pain. In a flash, he was tied up, lying on the floor. Hey there, name's Matilda, and I'm, still figuring out my strong suit. Maybe I'll end up a cop like my brother, or a doctor, engineer, or a teacher. Who knows? But before we dive into my story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to the MDA channel. I was born into a family of geniuses, with my dad being a scientist who's invented tons of stuff for medicine. My mom's a professor at Harvard. And then there's my brother, the crime-fighting team captain. Our family's got this genius legacy thing going, respected by many. Guess God will hand me my own special talent soon enough. My friends at school totally adore me, especially Taylor, the mayor's daughter. Even though she acts all queen bee around here, she's actually pretty nice to me. Can I come over this weekend, Matilda? Heard your brother made another big bust, huh? One day, I was totally engrossed in following an ant trail, trying to find their nest. Honestly, ants are like the hardest working creatures I know. What a loser. She's like the black sheep in the family of superheroes, right? Shh, keep it down. We don't want her to know we're just using her to get close to her hot officer brother. What? Black sheep in a family of superheroes? As if! I just haven't been gifted with powers like them, that's all. Just you wait when I discover my power. And one day, you'll all be kissing my butt, begging for my attention. You're hilarious, Matilda. Maybe your power is making people laugh. Better than being a self-proclaimed queen bee. Idiots! I'll show them all. I gotta figure out what I'm good at. And so, I decided to start with managing the school soccer team. I used to go to games with my bro. Who knows? Maybe I've got a hidden talent there. I went looking for a sports book, but couldn't reach the top shelf. Out of desperation, I climbed up, but slipped. Right before my head hit the floor, someone caught me. For a moment, I saw his handsome face before he dropped me.
You'd break your ankle trying to climb that high shelf.
Thanks.
Doesn't seem like you study much. First time I've seen you here.
My face turned beet red from embarrassment. Yeah, I never really hit up the school library or being big on reading.
I'm Alvin.
Matilda. He waved goodbye and disappeared. Well, he's not the friendliest guy, and I hope that's the last time I see of him. I pulled an all-nighter with that book, and the next day, I strutted into the middle of the soccer field where all the hot guys were practicing. They all ignored me, except for Zaid, the captain every girl dreams of dating. I flashed him my sweetest smile as he approached.
Sorry, but can you move aside? The game's about to start.
Well, that didn't go as planned.
Oh, it's you again.
Oh, the library guy. Albert.
No, you got my name wrong. It's Alvin. Alvin!
My bad. Then out of the blue, I spot a kitten meandering on the field.
Look out!
Zaid's about to kick the ball right where the kitten is. Dangerous much? Without thinking, I dash onto the field. But uh-oh, the slick grass has me slipping and accidentally kicking him. Zaid collapses and can only moan in pain. I hold up the kitten, hoping that seeing the adorable creature will explain my actions. But contrary to expectations, his face starts turning colors and his limbs shake uncontrollably.
Keep that thing away from me! I'm allergic to cat fur! Run! Get out of here before they get you!
Everything turned into chaos, and the game was called off. And yeah, since that day, my face was also banned from the soccer field vicinity. So much for managing the soccer team. But I didn't stop looking for my superpower. I tried my hand at painting, but that only sparked a huge debate at school.
That's clearly a tiger.
No, it's a hippo. And then the painting went viral online, and I couldn't have imagined things getting so out of hand. They crowded into my class and shoved a mic in my face.
So what exactly did you paint, Matilda?
Actually, it's a dog. A striped dog with a big belly? That's a first. Their laughter made me want to sink through the floor. And just like that, my passion for painting extinguished. Painting was a no-go, so maybe acting was my calling? Thanks to my family's rep, I quickly landed the role of Cinderella. While Taylor, fuming, agreed to play the wicked stepmother. Clean the floor, make it shine. Taylor shoved me down, grinding out each word. Was she taking this chance to settle scores? Once you're done, get to the kitchen. Don't let the prince see your face. Enough with the oppression! Angry, I threw the rag into the bucket. I demand equality for all fairy tale heroines. That's not in the script, idiot. Taylor hissed through clenched teeth, trying to steer everything back on track. That's when I realized I was standing on stage, under the scrutinizing gaze of the audience.
Way to go, Matilda! Woo! My sister's the best!
After my brother's cheer, a smattering of applause broke out. But I could clearly see my parents trying to hide their faces, ashamed of their daughter. I left the stage dejected and bumped into Zaid in the hallway. Great. Now he's going to have it out for me because of that fateful kick.
Matilda! Finally found you!
Oh, hi Zaid. Long time no see. You good?
I was fine until you knocked me out.
I'm so sorry. If you need someone to take responsibility, I'm ready.
Just kidding. I'm all good. I was looking for you to ask. Do you want to be my girlfriend?
Am I dreaming? Did the soccer team captain just ask me out? And of course, I said yes. We started dating, clinging to each other like shadows, which made most of the schoolgirls jealous, especially Taylor. But what could she do? It was Zaid who confessed his feelings to me first. One day while on my way home, the noise from a corner of the street caught my attention. In front of me was a building ablaze, and the firefighters hadn't arrived yet. Luckily, most people had already escaped. Huh? I poured a bucket of water over my head and charged into the fire like a superhero. And tomorrow, I would be on the front page of the newspaper with the headline, "Brave Superhero Rushes into Fire to Save Trapped People." But
Who let you rush in here? Do you know how dangerous that is?
they didn't know I had just saved a tiny life. I hurriedly took the little rabbit to the pet hospital in town. Upon arriving, I was startled to see a familiar face. Alvin was tenderly holding a hamster in his hands. When he saw me, he too seemed surprised. "So this is your father's clinic?"
Yes. I come here to help him with odd jobs on the weekends.
At that moment, I realized Alvin truly was a kind-hearted and sweet guy. Meanwhile, I kept up with my dates with Zaid, even though they weren't as fun as I thought they'd be. Turned out, I was often the butt of his friends' jokes. They teased me with drawings, even snatched my lunch away.
Oh, honey, you're not gonna eat this chicken leg, right? You gotta keep that figure.
I finally had enough and decided to tell him off after class. I was gonna break up with him. But when I went to find Zaid in an empty classroom, I caught a horrifying scene. Zaid and Taylor were kissing! So they were in on it together, making a fool out of me all along. But I didn't have time to wallow in sadness, nor did I need to waste thoughts on those losers. Well, time to show them that they messed with the wrong girl. I shared my plan with Alvin and asked for his help. That night, Zaid and Taylor were out on a romantic stroll, hand in hand on a deserted street. How shameless.
Isn't that Matilda?
What's that loser doing here? Curious, they followed behind me, but I vanished into the mist. The clueless duo had no idea they were about to face a nightmarish disaster. Alvin signaled me, and I kicked off our revenge plan. The sound Zaid feared the most echoed.
What? Why? Where are they?
In the dimly lit street, shadows of tiny creatures cast on the wall took on monstrous shapes.
Save me, Taylor! I'm scared of...
What? Taylor turned to see Zaid shaking in fear, practically peeing his pants. But before she could turn and leave, Zaid jumped up and clung to her tightly.
Oh, save me! I'm scared of cats! Get them away!
Alvin and I could only snicker, rounding up the cats and leaving the alley behind in chaos. Ew! Get away from me! We are so breaking up.
Help me, Taylor!
We returned to the pet hospital to drop off the cats. Thankful for our furry accomplices, making the plan a smashing success. Alvin and I looked at each other, proud of what we just pulled off. Suddenly, he leaned in closer and closer. A baby bird with a broken wing.
Let me call my dad over.
No need. I got this. I carefully disinfected and bandaged the little bird's wing. It looked so pitiful.
I think you could be a great vet taking care of them in the future. Whoa! Calm down, girl.
I found my power! I'm not a superhero like everyone. It's not doing big things like mom and dad or helping others like you.
You silly. Your power just needs to bring joy to you and others. That's enough.
You're right.
day, I was cruising in a brand new Porsche with my boyfriend, heading to the most luxurious party ever. But when he pulled up in front of a yacht, my excitement turned to panic. A party on a yacht? You know I'm afraid of deep water, right?
Come on, don't be such a baby. It's been ages. Get over it.
Get over it? Go by yourself! You don't love me anyway.
Your family's company needs me. Your parents need me. And you belong to me.
No, Ben, we are done. And stop bothering me! I ignored him and vanished from there. Hey there, I'm Natalie from North Chicago. The guy just now was Ben, my boyfriend. But our relationship was far from perfect. I was with him because my parents wanted it that way. Back home, ignoring my parents' anger, I stormed into my room and slammed the door shut. Book me a flight to Kyoto. Yes, Japan. First thing in the morning. I needed to get away for a while to show them I meant business. I'm not kidding. Not this time. The next morning, I was at the airport ready for my indefinite, unplanned getaway. But as I was sipping on a Frappuccino, super excited, I spotted Ben. Oh no, not now. Was he following me?
Look, that's her there.
I ran for my life through the airport. Luckily, my flight was boarding. I sprinted onto the plane and escaped. Phew. I knew Ben would probably fly his private jet to Kyoto to intercept me, but I'd cross that bridge when I got to it. I stayed up all night planning what I'd do in Kyoto. Wear kimonos, enjoy nagashi somen, blah blah blah. Chill. Literally chill. The plane landed and I woke up from a nap that felt like a day long, my body nearly numb. As I followed the crowd out to the airport, I realized something was off. Wait a minute. Phuket International Airport? Am I in Thailand? A friendly driver dropped me off at a luxurious hotel, beaming before driving away.
Sawadee ka, welcome to Thailand.
The silver lining was Ben wouldn't know I was here. As I was hefting my heavy suitcase up the steps, a commotion nearby caught my attention. A group of young guys were spraying water at some girls. Unbelievable. Hey, you can't do that!
Huh? Hey, oh.
He just went, oh, and then splashed water at me. What the fudge? Trying to mess with me? I'm taking all of you to the police station. Despite my complaints, the cops looked me up and down as if they were trying not to laugh. What? Is this some kind of just-for-fun reality TV prank? But no, before I could lose it, the officer burst out laughing.
This is Thailand's traditional water throwing festival. They're sharing luck with each other. Welcome to our beautiful country.
So, that's it. Oh, how embarrassing. I couldn't bear to look at them anymore.
Many tourists come here just to join this festival. It's a lot of fun.
This new friend handed me a water gun and then the water fight began.
The wetter you get, the luckier you'll be in the new year.
Just make sure I don't end up drowning.
What's your name?
Natalie!
Call me Sunan.
We frolicked, played, and exchanged good luck wishes for the new year. What the heck? Did Ben follow me all the way here? I quickly hid behind the crowd, praying he wouldn't spot me. Just then, a hand grabbed me and pulled me away. Sunan led me to a quiet alley away from the bustling festival outside.
I don't know what's going on between you and those people, but they don't seem like good folks.
You're right. I spilled the beans to Sunan about my long story with Ben, how he was such a problematic boyfriend, and how I had to flee. He'll hunt me down everywhere to drag me back.
Huh. I think I have a way to help you.
Sunan took my hand. He was a few years older than me, a fit and handsome Asian guy. Sunan pushed me into a traditional clothing store, and I was instantly overwhelmed by the gorgeous outfits. Stepping out of the fitting room, I hardly recognized myself in the mirror. Oh my goodness, she looks just like Lisa from Blackpink! So elegant! Thank you. I blushed, turning to see Sunan staring at me in awe. Did I look strange? I'll change back right now.
No. You look beautiful.
Just as we left the clothing store, I bumped into Ben and his gang. Uh-oh, which way to run? But he just walked past me as if he didn't recognize me. Phew. Thanks, Sunan. For the first time, I felt relaxed and free. No fear of anxiety anymore. Sunan took me to visit Wat Prak Khao, the Temple of the Emerald Buddha. Once again, my jaw dropped at its majesty. This architecture is seriously no joke. As Sunan was engrossed in telling me about the temple, a monk approached and smiled at me. I extended my hand for a friendly handshake, but Sunan quickly intervened. He folded his hands and bowed respectfully to the monk. After a moment of confusion, I followed suit.
Please enjoy your time here, and may you find peace and enlightenment.
I nodded respectfully, appreciating the monk's warm reception. Thanks for saving me again. It was just a reflex, I guess.
Don't worry, most foreign tourists don't know that. It's not really their fault.
Sunan was indeed a warm and understanding guy. Just then, his phone rang. He looked at me anxiously before hanging up. What's wrong?
Will you come with me, Natalie?
We went to a bustling market and then turned into a small alley and stopped in front of a cozy-looking house.
Welcome to my home!
Sunan's mother and sister came out to greet us as warm as if I were a family member. Later, we prepared baskets full of fruits before taking them to the market. The scent of ripe mangoes and jackfruits filled the air, tickling my curiosity.
Let's do it together.
I followed Sunan to the market. Only upon arrival did I realize it was a floating market. Dad, save me! Please! I'm here! During my 10th birthday party, specially organized on a luxury yacht, the happy occasion quickly turned into a nightmare as I accidentally slipped and almost drowned. Since then, I've always been fearful of being near water.
Natalie? Natalie!
Huh?
Here, give me your hand.
I swallowed hard, trying to suppress my fear, but my hands were still trembling.
It's not as scary as it seems. Trust me, you're stronger than you think.
Sunan extended his hand again, and this time I grasped it. I knew it was time to bravely face my fear. Sunan helped me onto the wobbly boat. Touching the cool water, I realized nothing was fearful anymore. Everything was perfect now.
Hey, give me some coconuts.
Right away, sir. As Sunan energetically chopped coconuts, and when I handed them to the customer, I realized it was Ben. He was also shocked to see me, but before I could flee, he grabbed hold of me. Ben's grip was like a vice on my wrist, pulling me away from the lively market. Panic bubbled up inside me. Great, just great. I was about to be dragged back to the US and shoved back into the Ben's girlfriend box.
Hey!
There stood Sunan, his anger palpable. I tried to signal him to stay back, knowing he was outmatched by Ben. But nope, Sunan wasn't having any of it and charged in. My heart was racing. I couldn't even watch.
You're such a dork.
And bam! Ben hit the ground hard, twisting in pain. What was that?
Who the heck are you, dude?
Before Ben's goons could jump in, Sunan flashed his badass smile.
Well, Dad's a Muay Thai legend, and guess what? So am I.
Ben's minions turned pale, exchanging "we're in over our heads" looks, and backed off. Sunan stepped up, grabbed my hand.
Let's get you out of here.
Natalie, get back to the States now, or don't bother coming back at all.
Please, Natalie, come back to us. Fury washed over me. Ben was the epitome of a jerk. With a heavy heart, I withdrew from Sunan's grasp and faced Ben. Sorry, Sunan. Ignoring Ben's sweet nothings and grand promises on the flight, I stayed silent, immune to his charm. Back home, facing my awaiting parents, I shut the door on Ben's smug face. Sorry, we have a family meeting.
Do you have any idea how embarrassed we've been? Luckily, Ben's ready to let bygones be bygones if you guys tie the knot. And you...
I can't marry someone I don't love, Dad! She's speaking the truth. We married to please our families, and look at us. Wealthy but miserable. Do we want Natalie to end up like this? Her words hit hard, leaving me and Dad heartbroken. Dad slumped, speechless, and Mom enveloped me in a comforting hug. Money can't buy happiness, darling, but love can. Post that confrontation, I severed all ties with Ben, but he was relentless. His incessant calls and messages bordered on stalking, forcing me to hire a bodyguard.
Miss, your bodyguard is here.
Great. His main job? Keep Ben out of my orbit.
Need a drink, miss?
No need. The butler's got it.
Doubt they can serve up a fresh coconut though.
What? Sunan! There he was, all smiles, just like when we first met. I ran to him, my hug saying all the words I couldn't find. Why did you come?
To find you. I couldn't stay away, knowing I needed to be with you.
My heart danced. Somebody slap me or shoot me to Mars. Sunan's here confessing his love. And your life back in Thailand?
I'll be a Muay Thai coach here. My family's on board with it. It's just, I wasn't sure if you felt the same.
Interrupting him with a kiss, I let my heart speak. You big dummy. I love you too. Mom, where are we heading now? Ugh, this stupid tight cap was driving me crazy. Mom always wanted me to do what she liked. Chop chop, hurry up. Mom pulled me so harshly that my hat fell to the ground. Excuse me, that's mine. Can you? Time froze the moment our eyes met each other. This strange feeling. Was it what people called love at first sight? That boy was about to raise his camera to take a few frames when a middle-aged woman came near him. My mom quickly came to cover my face with her hands. Mom, what on earth are you doing? Let go of me! No! This couldn't be happening. The love of my life. Was I gonna miss it? Would I have to give up my destiny right at the mall just because of my mom's weirdness? Hello, Whoa animated story viewers. My name is Jacqueline. I live with my parents in San Diego, and they are all weirdos. Since I was little, my parents had trained me to live a low-key life. I wasn't allowed to be outstanding or show my personal life on social media and everything. Lucky for them, the only thing that I loved and cared about was studying marine biology, which had nothing to do with showing off on the internet. Anyways, I had been used to living like a recluse, so that was fine for me. The only problem was, I had a pretty face, as they often said that I looked like a Barbie doll. When I went to high school, tons of guys would fight to date me.
Hey, may I have your number? Do you want to hang out with me? Jacqueline, I like you so much. Will you be my girlfriend?
Somehow, my parents would know if a guy asked me out. Even the school's popular websites crashed right after their articles about my beauty. Weird, huh? That wasn't the weirdest thing about my family. Because of the reclusive lifestyle, we didn't have many friends. Or more precisely, we didn't have enough time to make friends. Well, I had no clue. I was so used to moving house on the reg.
Sweetheart, we're moving to LA.
What do you think if we moved to Hawaii? Oh, or Maryland, or...
My gummy bear, we're moving.
Ugh, again? We even had to move right in the middle of the night. We even took a boat to move from Oregon to California, while it only took 2 hours if we used a car instead. I was so wrecked with this move to a new house thing that I even got mad at my parents. Why did none of you tell me what was going on? Why are we moving over and over? That would be better for us, for our jobs, sweetie. That was ridiculous! Mom was a housewife and Dad worked from home most of the time. Seeing I was so unhappy, I promised that would be the last time we moved. We moved to South San Diego. Well, my parents started to be very cautious of our neighbors, just like previously. When we were unpacking at our new home, some friendly neighbors offered to help, but my parents just flatly refused their goodwill. Once, on Halloween, right after my neighbors and their kids came to the porch and knocked on our door, my parents immediately cut off the power. They even hid behind the sofa so that our neighbors could not spot them inside. My family refused to communicate with anyone in the neighborhood. The mystery of our family had caused a great curiosity, and scary rumors started to spread in the area. They never go out at night because they're vampires. That was it. Exactly. We suck blood for a living, especially nosy people's blood. So yummy.
Such a threat will make them terrified of your family even more.
Oh my God, that smile, those stunning eyes. That boy was standing in front of me. If it wasn't our destiny, then I didn't know what was.
Do you remember me? You haven't got your cap back since that day at the mall.
What a coincidence to see him here. His name was Jeremy and they lived next door. I hope he hadn't spotted my family's weirdness. he suddenly put an apple pie in my hands.
My parents wanted to thank you for giving us fresh fruits. They also wanted to invite you guys to come over this weekend.
That was impossible! Since when did my parents give fresh fruits to the neighbors? That was totally insane! My parents had always been hiding from the world, if you know what I mean.
Jacqueline, will you and your parents come over?
Of course we will. Thank you so much, dear. I was startled. Mom, did you and my dad give fruits to Jeremy's parents? It's true. Your dad just got a job as an accountant at Jeremy's father's company. Really? Yes, so my parents also knew my crush's family. Perhaps Jeremy would be the only friend that my parents allowed me to make. That weekend, my parents and I came to Jeremy's for dinner. Our dads were playing billiards while our moms were having tea and chit-chatting with each other. Jeremy and I were walking in his garden.
My mom does everything. She picks the flowers, waters them, and everything.
Really? They're so beautiful! A bee came from nowhere and suddenly attacked me. Oh my god, I was so freaked out that I turned myself into a mess. Oh my god! Stay away from me, you stupid bee! Jeremy noticed this silliness, and so he took a lot of photos. After the bee left and the storm was gone for good, we went to the swing. Oh Lord, did you take pictures of me?
Well,
I insisted on seeing the frames. OMG, there wasn't one single nice photo. Well, mostly because of me, but...
I think that was cute.
I blushed, but Jeremy just smiled softly. The more we talked, the more I discovered that Jeremy and I, in fact, shared a lot of things in common. Like we both loved nature and the environment. The way Jeremy talked was also funny, and I laughed my head off. Jeremy was so cute that I think I was in love with him.
Your parents were so nice. I can't believe people are so mean to them.
They were really weird. I just want to graduate so I can move out.
Yeah, me too. Sometimes my parents' occupation is more like a barrier to my life.
Suddenly, I tripped and fell to the ground. Jeremy was extremely worried about me.
Are you all right? Let me help you.
He charmingly bandaged my wound. Then suddenly, he held my hands. We looked at each other blushing. Then, out of nowhere, a hand grabbed my collar. Jacqueline, let's go home now. They just dragged me home without explaining anything. I thought my family and Jeremy's were close friends.
Don't you dare hang out with that kiddo.
Why, Dad? Why? I saw him taking photos of you. You tell him to delete the photos and break up with him now. That was totally insane and unreasonable. My parents always acted like they really liked Jeremy's family, but the truth was they hated them. I was so done with obeying them like a programmed robot, so I broke out in anger. I'm not living in your world anymore, Mom and Dad. Jeremy and I are nothing yet, but thanks to you, I will win his heart no matter what. After the fight, I barely had dinner with my family. I intentionally wore colorful clothes just to mess with my parents. The next days, I asked Jeremy out. He knew that my mood was down, so he offered to bring me to a secret place, which was a deserted harbor.
I often wait for my parents here. You can see the ocean and the sunset from here. Pretty cool, huh?
He was right. This place was strangely romantic. I was enjoying the breeze when suddenly a strong smell hit my nose. Jeremy, is that waste oil?
It's polluting the ocean.
Then a familiar sound echoed in the air. That was none other than my dear father, and he was following Jeremy's father like his sidekick. Jeremy was about to raise his hand to wave, but I immediately pulled him behind the shipping container. I signaled him to keep quiet and listen to our fathers.
The emissions are causing serious pollution. Don't worry, blame it on the overfishing. This will save me thousands of dollars in taxes.
Oh my sweet lord, our dads were doing something illegal. Jeremy was shocked after hearing their words, and I was desperately disappointed in my dad. Both Jeremy and I were completely lashed out by our father's dark secret.
We have to stop them for good.
I knew what he meant, and yes, I knew they were our dads, but even so, we would stop them for good. That night, Jeremy and I took a lot of photos of the emissions, pollution, and also our dad's crimes. I held the camera while Jeremy was driving. He promised to convince them to stop their crimes and he would text me then. However, it was 3 a.m. and there was no sign of him. I tried to phone him, but he didn't pick up. Perhaps something bad had happened to him. I was about to sneak out when suddenly the light was on and Mom said,
"Where are you going? Are you looking for that boy? I told you not to poke your nose into his family's business, didn't I? Unless you want to be moved to somewhere else."
Then she pulled me inside and slammed the door. After her words, I could tell something was definitely wrong with Jeremy and I had to do something to save him. Jeremy! Jeremy! But he didn't come to the door. I tried something else. I snuck into his house through the window. Jeremy's room was dark and he was nowhere to be found. The only thing that caught my eye was a suitcase and his passport. Oh no! Jeremy, are you leaving? Suddenly, Jeremy's house light was on, and his parents and a tall bodyguard appeared behind me.
Get her!
What the hell was going on? The bodyguard held on to me while I struggled.
You and Jeremy have known too much. If you want a peaceful life, don't stick your nose into mine.
Let me go! I have all the evidence of your crime. If you hurt me, everyone will know who you truly are.
Oh, is that so? You got me, kid. Do you really think that those dumb photos can hurt me? How naive.
He just smirked at my threats. That was when I realized I had left all the evidence at my home. My dad worked for the devil, so of course he would hand him all the photos once he found them in my room. I was so desperate and disappointed that I didn't bother to struggle anymore. As expected, only about 5 minutes later, my dad showed up at Jeremy's house.
I had all the evidence. She can't destroy your business anymore.
Dad, if you give him the photos, I'll cutie with you and Mom. Still, my dad stepped toward Jeremy's dad. That devil smirked in triumph and reached out his hand to grab the camera. I hate you! He suddenly grabbed Jeremy's wrist and took out a pair of handcuffs. Huh? What was that? Both Jeremy's dad and I were frozen. My dad didn't seem to be in the lowly position anymore. Instead, he looked so determined when handcuffing Jeremy's dad. Behind my dad were my mom and other agents rushed in and arrested Jeremy's parents and their bodyguard. Finally, the truth was revealed. My parents realized that they can no longer keep the secret from me, so they decided to tell me everything. It turned out that my parents were working for the NSA. The only reason why they tried to approach Jeremy's family was to find their crime evidence. My dad and my mom worked so hard to gain Jeremy's parents' trust to get a vacancy in that company. They had to keep everything under wraps, and we had to move house constantly to protect me at all costs. I hugged them tightly, my heart filled with remorse and shame because I never truly understood my parents.
We're so sorry, sweethearts. We never meant to hurt you. As soon as you turn 18, you'll be allowed to move out and live the life you want with a new identity. You won't have to move house anymore, I pinky promise.
Dad was right. When I turned 18, my name was changed to Jasmine. I moved out to live on my own and finally made friends in college. Because my parents' job was classified, I couldn't spoil about their whereabouts, but I could tell you, sometimes they did call me and we talked about everything. And of course, they still loved me very much. Via my parents, I also heard that after knowing the truth, Jeremy decided to leave. I had no idea where he went. After a long time, Jeremy finally contacted me. He told me that he was studying abroad and promised to come back for me after the semester ended. Now, my dear audience, do you think there is any chance for my love at first sight? Kate, where are you? We are waiting for you. You guys, go. Just go, please. What? Those are my bandmates, and they were waiting for me to go to the show with them. But... No, Mom. Please, I'm begging you. OMG. Before I could stop her, the water down on my friend's head and made them soaking wet. Go home, little turds. No rock music, no guitar, Kate's going to be the best dancer ever! Hi, I'm Kate, a 17-year-old student at New Jersey High School. I discovered I have a fierce passion for rock since I was a child. When the kids my age were playing with Barbie or Ken, I was glued to the rock shows on TV, and my interest didn't change when I grew up. Despite being the youngest, I was named the best electric guitarist in my school's music club, and I'm very proud of that. I joined in almost all sorts of shows in town. Well, I'm actually pretty famous in the rock world. They admired and wished to have talent like me. But sadly, I tried without the support of my dear family, especially my mom. She could do everything to stop me from pursuing my passion for rock, even mistreating my bandmates. She wanted to destroy all the achievements that I tried to afford. I had a bunch of reasons for this. My family had an artistic tradition related to contemporary ballet. My grandmother was a ballerina who performed in the world-famous Swan Lake, and my mother followed in her footsteps. She also became a talented ballet dancer. When I was 3 years old, my mom signed me up for ballet classes with good teachers who were her friends. Even at home, my mother made me practice hard to improve my skills. Ow! To see my little daughter in a white ballet dress on stage is the biggest dream of my life. Yeah, so when my mom found out I loved rock, a genre of music that somewhat contradicts her expectations, my mom got really, really mad. I secretly went to Adam Lambert's autograph session with my friends, the biggest idol of my life. I had to stay up many nights to get entrance tickets to see him. Ugh! How did it take so long? I think I could die here! I heard the cursing of a few girls standing in front of me. But to me, I could do anything to see my Adam. Queuing up? Even if it took me a year, it didn't even matter. At this time, Adam appeared to erase all my tiredness. Jolly, a member of my band, suddenly fainted. Ah! My Adam! I'm here! I love you! Sign for me! I waited for about an hour before my turn came up. I excitedly grabbed my favorite shirt in my hand and approached him for an autograph. I've been your big fan for a long time. I'm Kate. I really like your song, What Do You Want From Me? Could you write, I love you forever, Kate, my love, right here?
Thank you. You're such a cute girl, and I like your style.
Oh my god! Did I hear him wrong? He was so adorable! He was touching my shirt. I felt like my heart could explode with joy at that moment. But before his pen reached my shirt, suddenly a hand grabbed it and threw it to the ground. I was completely shocked when I saw my mother standing there. Mom? How dare you cut your ballet class to come here? Go home now! No! Let me go! I'm not coming back! I ran over and picked up my shirt. Then we quarreled. And oh no! The candle cup on Adam's table fell over. The fire burned into the tablecloth and flared up violently. Everyone was scared and ran away, causing the autograph session to be interrupted. The bodyguards quickly brought Adam out of the chaos. I will probably never forget the image of my devilish mom smiling in satisfaction over the horrible thing she had just done. Why did she embarrass me in front of so many people? Even though I was the victim of this incident, I continued to be punished afterward. The world fell apart when I found myself banned from all of Adam Lambert's showcases and fan meetings. He would never want to meet a fan like me again. My mom detained me at home for a week. I was not allowed to go to the music club and couldn't even hang out with my friends. I was living in hell in my own house. Hell has no privacy. That was right. Mom had removed the door to my bedroom. My mother announced that she would take me to ballet class every day. Mom, why haven't you left yet? I'll be here to watch you take your move. Come on, show yourself, Katie. Mom! And so, I had to take the boring ballet class. Mom even hit my butt in front of everyone whenever I made a wrong move. Ouch! So you call it ballet? One more time! I was forced to join ballet class 5 times a week and had no other free time. If this went on, I wouldn't be able to join my rock band anymore. This made me furious. After 4 days of being confined in my room and having to attend silly ballet classes under my mom's supervision, I knew I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't deserve this punishment. I missed my electric guitar, the spotlights, and the audience cheering after my performance. I missed them all. My body temperature rose faster than ever when I remembered what my mom did to ruin my dreams. Okay, so we'll play a game. I want to see who will be the winner. Thank God, my electric guitar was still right here. Waiting until midnight, I mustered the courage to play my favorite song. My rock music drowned out my mother's classical music. Very quickly, I saw the neighbor's house starting to light up.
It's too noisy.
My mom got angry and ran up to my room. She grabbed the guitar and smashed it to the ground. I didn't expect this would happen. I was just trying to make her angry. A little. But anyways, my guitar was broken. I just stood there completely frozen. I was angry and resentful. Mom just smashed my lifelong dream. I just quietly asked Mom, "Why did you do that?" "I've told you so many times, Katie. It was not and never will be like ballet. No one likes it. Did you see it? After my every performance, the audience always stood up and cheered. You said you liked the applause from the audience. Ballet can help you get it too." Mom, you don't get it. "Just don't mention this again, or else you'll have to say goodbye to your stupid band." If my mom said so, then she definitely dared to do it. I didn't want to involve my bandmates, so I became more obedient and focused on ballet class. But unexpectedly, my mom broke her promise. One day, I discovered that there were some Our Band's anti-fan websites had sprung up. And you know what? The admin of those sites impersonated me to defame the other band's members. Even the images of my teammates were edited. So ugly. On top of that, all of them were taken at my house. And I knew who did this. When Jolly discovered those sites, she was furious. "You hate me, right? So shut the band down." "I swear I didn't do it, Jolly." But before I could finish my words, Oliver, the drummer in the band, slammed the drumstick harder on the drumhead, making us startled. When all eyes were on him, Oliver stood up and threw the drumsticks at me.
Show off. You said you're better at drumming than I am. And I'm a loser, right?
No, please! They didn't listen to me. Why don't they have any faith in me? Then they all left, leaving me alone in the studio. But instead of explaining to them, I knew I needed to get to the root of this first. But our conversation quickly turned into an argument. "You never asked me what I want to be. I love rock, not ballet. I obey you, but you break your promise. If you dare to step out of here, I will ask the director to ruin your band's performance tomorrow." I must say that my mom had a huge influence, and I knew she wasn't joking. She got on well with all the artists and even the director of the National Performing Arts Center. So she could totally use her relationship to stop my group's debut. So with no other choice, I had to give up on my dream. Although I agreed to continue attending ballet classes as per Mom's wishes, our relationship was still extremely strained after that argument. My mom announced that she had a big show tonight. I said I didn't want to show up. "Okay then, just one call from me, Katie. Then you will know the consequences." Ugh! She really drove me crazy. That night, the place where my mom performed was right next to where my band debuted. As soon as Jolly caught my eyes, she dragged Oliver come closer. "Guess who's here? I think we should stay here and see what talent the Swan Girl will show." Psst. Little kids were so dumb. They would never know what I did to save their debut. After half an hour of preparation, my mom's show finally began. Her graceful movements helped her shine like a star in the sky. Wow, people looked so gorgeous when they were followed by their passion. But suddenly, the music stopped and my mom became focused on the stage. She panicked and stepped on the wires and suddenly fell to the ground. And the most unexpected thing happened. The audience started to stand up and yell.
"Boo! Leave the stage!"
My mother seemed about to burst into tears right on the spot. At that time, I felt very sorry for her. No one was allowed to blame my mom. I'll take this. Hey! Just as my mom was about to leave the stage, the MC raised his voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, excuse us for the technical errors. The performance will start again in a few minutes.
The stage lights were off slowly. A spotlight shines on a girl in the black swan costume. She shined, holding an electric guitar in her hand. It was none other than me. Katie, what are you doing? Right after that, my band and I gave a rock performance right on the ballet stage. You guys, come on here! My band stood in the wings behind the stage, rushing in to support us. And my mom, like a miracle, stood up and began to raise her lithe arms into the air. It was amazing. We did so great together. The audience all stood up and cheered for a performance in which both my mom and I were on the stage. We've made it! Guys, you're the best! I shouted with joy and turned to look at my friends, who were smiling with sweat gushing from their foreheads. The show ended well, and we tried to heal each other. I explained it to them, and they understood everything. They weren't surprised because they all knew my mom's personality. But what surprised me more was that my mother entered the wing to find me. All my friends were scared to run away, but her words stopped them. Thank you for everything. Then, my mother suddenly hugged me. She said I looked so cool when I played the guitar, and it was the best version of me. She was so proud. I have thought a lot about what you said. You are right. We succeed when we bravely pursue our passions. I'm sorry that I broke your guitar lately. So, when are you going to teach me how to play guitar? My mother and I hugged each other tightly, my friends standing in the back. They were happy to see me happy. So my mother no longer forced me to join the ballet class. Of course, I chose my passion for rock and took ballet as a supplementary subject to help me become more flexible. Mom even invited my band house and proudly showed off my rock concert poster to everyone.
Okay, let the rope down slowly. There are a lot of hidden alarm triggers there, so better be careful. There it is, the most precious diamond in the world! I slowly took out a handful of flour, then blew it towards the diamond. Then, I used my agile body to weave through the lasers, and ta-da! Easy as pie! Don't look at me as if I'm a thief. It was a test I took while being a student at a secret military academy. And hi, I'm Anya. Are you curious about the life of a female commando? Even though I was the only girl in this academy, it didn't mean I was inferior to any of the boys there. I had proven myself completely competent. I was the strongest, the fastest, and the most intelligent among them. However, everything changed dramatically when the academy headmistress gave me a special mission as the graduation assignment. Ma'am, you want me to deal with this girl? Not deal with. Protect her. Oops, that girl was Caitlin, the daughter of a senator. In recent weeks, she had been receiving threatening letters. Your daughter is next on my list. Better watch out. The senator wanted to protect his daughter from the shadows, so he gave an order to hire a female commando to participate in an upcoming beauty contest that Caitlin has signed up for. You mustn't reveal your identity, because the senator wants this delicate matter dealt with as quietly as possible. What? Have you seen anyone looking like this at a beauty contest? If this mission goes well, I will personally put in good words to help you join the National Intelligence Service. The NIS? What? That had been my biggest dream! I quickly accepted the mission without further hesitation. I was then taken to a lodge room with a few staff members. While waiting, suddenly I was forced to sit down on a chair and my wrists were immediately locked tight. What are you people doing? Transform you into a real beauty queen. After 5 hours of renovation, I walked over to the mirror and oh my god! Standing in front of me was a smooth-skinned, bouncy-haired beautiful girl with glorious makeup. Before I could get used to my new appearance, the headmistress dragged me away. After that, I changed into a suitable outfit, put on my hidden earbud, and went to the contest venue. From a distance, I recognized Caitlin as she sat in front of a dressing table while being surrounded by a lot of chatty girls. I sighed and tried to squeeze through the crowd. Suddenly, her bestie Wendy, the daughter of the Secretary General, approached her with a pair of high heels in hand. The organizers gave you this. Ugh, why did you give me this ugly thing? How useless. Those two abruptly finished talking and left, leaving me with said high heels. Well, they were perfect for me, since I didn't have time to prepare my own heels. Get ready for the stage, ladies! The swimsuit competition is coming up! I quickly grabbed the heels and ran towards the stage, but as soon as I walked the stairs in those 4-inch high heels, the kind of shoes I had never worn before in my entire life, something felt wrong. They were extremely slippery. Suddenly, the whole place came alive with dynamic music. Oh, it was my jam. I was caught up in the beat. Ah! That slip sent me tumbling onto Caitlin, stunning her and sending her falling on the stage. Even the judges and the show host panicked and rushed to Caitlin's side. Oh no, she's the senator's daughter! Great, there goes my plan of being friends with Caitlin. But God still gave me another chance. He put me in the same room with Caitlin and Wendy. You're lucky your father doesn't come here today, or else he would be so embarrassed. I know, and it's all your fault, Anya. I was about to protest when a familiar voice rang in my ear. Think it through. Maybe the person who sent the threatening letters was Wendy, because she was the one who gave those slippery heels to Caitlin. From that day on, I became intensely cautious around Wendy. Soon later, they announced that a part of the beauty contest, the talent show, was going to be held the next day. All that time, I had to keep an eye on Caitlin for fear she would be harmed. Suddenly, I overheard Caitlin and Wendy's conversation. Have you prepared as planned? This golden key will keep me from getting wet. Remember to put it in the box, okay? Then they walked out together while I pretended I didn't just eavesdrop on them.
Ladies and gents, here comes Caitlin's magic performance. Within 3 minutes, before the water tank above is poured down, she will find the correct key in that box to unlock herself.
Caitlin walked onto the stage with her hands locked. She looked around as if searching for someone, but then looked extremely disappointed. She then took a deep breath and started searching in the box. After a while, she still hadn't seemed to find the right key. Having a bad feeling, I walked up to the stage. Now comes Caitlin's exciting new talent, hairpin lock picking. I quickly took the hairpin from my hair and gave it to her. Stay focused. Just follow my instructions. Then we tried to unlock it and it opened. Just then, the water tank started to pour down and I quickly pushed Caitlin away with all my might. Maybe I used too much force because she could only manage to mutter. What? Why did you help me? Then she fainted. We immediately brought Caitlin to the hospital. Fortunately, she was without a scratch, but her spirit was so broken. Despite everyone's objections, I still went inside to comfort her. Whoa, calm down, Caitlin. The judges have agreed to let you perform again. Even if I redid it 100 times, my dad wouldn't come. He never cares about me. I realized that what made her sad was not the failure of her performance, but the distant attitude of her father. I softly hugged the poor girl to soothe her. Although I knew Caitlin was misunderstanding her father, I couldn't reveal my real mission because the culprit had not been caught. Since Caitlin slowly opened her heart, my relationship with her gradually improved. Turns out she wasn't as arrogant as I thought. I was lying in bed one day when she woke me up. Hey Anya, let's go swimming. And don't let Wendy know. I gently followed after her. Thank you for everything. Everyone is just being nice to me because I'm the senator's daughter. But when I was in real danger, only you were willing to help me. Hearing that, I felt so guilty and embarrassed. It made me want to tell her the truth. Suddenly, she playfully pushed me into the lake. Ah! Surprised! Oh, what's this? Wait! Before I could stop her, the headmistress's voice came from my secret earbud. What's wrong, Anya? I heard screams. What happened to Caitlin? Caitlin looked at me in shock and suspicion. Who are you? What is your purpose in approaching me? So I had to tell her everything, but it only resulted in her wrath. Yet I thought you were sincere to me. Turns out it was all planned and staged. Calm down, Caitlin. The senator and I just want you to be safe. Safe? From what? All of those letters were sent by me! I stared blankly at Caitlin. Turns out she made up her own story of being threatened just to get her dad's attention. After confessing the truth, Caitlin cried and left. The next day, the headmistress ordered me to come back to the academy. With those threat letters being fake, our mission is over, Anya. Return immediately. When I was about to pack up, I saw Wendy putting something shady in a juice glass. What are you doing, Wendy? These are just vitamins. Just as I was about to pick up my suitcase and leave, I noticed something glittering under Wendy's pillow. A golden key? But I knew it. Wendy really had the intention to hurt Caitlin. I immediately reported that new info to my headmistress. As long as Wendy hasn't achieved her evil goal, she will continue to harm Caitlin. I immediately ran to the contest venue to find Wendy. Just as she handed Caitlin the glass of juice, I quickly did a ferocious high kick to send the glass flying. Your true face is exposed, you snake! It turned out that because Wendy was so jealous that Caitlin was always the center of attention and she was only seen as a servant next to her, Wendy decided to destroy Caitlin once and for all. After Wendy was arrested, Caitlin made peace with me and I also apologized to her for hiding my true identity. Caitlin, your dad may not be able to spend time with you, but he cares deeply for you in his own way. Hopefully, my words reached her and helped Caitlin understand and sympathize more with her father. With that mission completed, I had successfully graduated from the military academy. Now, I wonder if you guys would be interested in the story of my time in the NIS.
Dear passengers, this is an announcement from the captain. We are 30,000 feet in the air and...
Suddenly, there was an emergency. All the oxygen masks immediately dropped from the ceiling. A panicked passenger stood up and shouted in horror, "The plane is about to crash!" I tried to calm him down, but he angrily pushed me away. Wait! Don't open it!
Miss Crystal, you failed the exam.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my story. The story of an 18-year-old flight attendant, Crystal. As you can see, the training program was so difficult that I couldn't imagine what it would be like in reality. I've spent 18 years of my life waiting for a chance to apply to American Airlines. With dedication and hard work, I was able to overcome 10,000 candidates to become one of 31 interns participating in the training program of this most prestigious airline in the United States. However, our teacher told us a shocking news. I regret to announce that American Airlines will accept only 30 students. Therefore, the one with the worst results will be disqualified. This caused a stir among all of us, especially Layla, the Turkish-American girl standing next to me. Oh, I had already retaken that exam twice. Well, at least I would not be that bad. However, the thing that disturbed me the most was that every other student, especially Pearl, deliberately created the disadvantages for Layla to make her unable to raise her grades. One day, during the 100-yard swim test, I could see the worry in Layla's eyes. When it was hers and my turn, I saw Pearl pull out an almost transparent fishing wire. What did she need it for?
Crystal, get into your position now!
The teacher's raised voice made me quickly forget my thoughts and get in line.
Ready, set, go!
At first, the test went alright, but a moment later, I heard Layla's cry for help. I can't move! Help! She kept struggling to move, but her life jacket started deflating, which made her panic even more. Without hesitation, I rushed to save Layla. As soon as I grasped her hand, I caught the sight of Pearl's wire. After receiving CPR, she slowly regained consciousness.
Layla, you handled that situation poorly. I'm sorry, but you failed the exam. As for you, Crystal, although your act was brave, since you didn't finish your exam, you have to retake it.
The teacher's announcement made Layla burst into tears. But I couldn't swim because something got caught in my life jacket. It's true, I also saw something under the pool. But the teacher coldly walked away, followed by Pearl. You better not go near Layla, or bad luck will find you. I'm sure it's bad people, not bad luck. Pearl just sneered and left. Although my exam didn't go well, I made friends with Layla, a lovely and kind girl. From that day on, I became a sore in Pearl's eyes. Seeing that, during a real flight to Turkey at the end of the training program, the teacher purposefully put Layla, me, and Pearl in the same room. As soon as I entered the room, I saw Pearl threatening Layla. If you don't want to be at the bottom forever, then stay away from her! I quickly ran to cover Layla, causing Pearl to leave in anger. Did she bully you again? Oh no, Well, never mind. Let's enjoy our stay here. We only have one day in Turkey. Thanks to our lucky stars, the famous colorful Novus Vibram festival was being held the same time we were there. When I was overwhelmed by the scene around me, Layla quickly pulled me into a group of people holding hands. You have to hold the hand of the person next to you. I immediately grabbed a guy's hand and quickly lost myself in the festive atmosphere. I danced happily and enjoyed myself to the fullest, encouraging Layla to join me. After finishing the dance, to my surprise, she rushed to hug the guy from earlier. Efe, why did you come back?
When I heard that you were returning home, I had to come to see you immediately.
Turns out it was Efe, Layla's brother. He seemed to be really sweet. Then he took us to a beautiful hot air balloon tour in Cappadocia. When we arrived, we encountered Pearl.
Sorry, ma'am. We only have one balloon left. Can you all ride together?
No way! However, after Layla and Effie tried to persuade us, Pearl and I reluctantly agreed to board the same hot air balloon. It quickly took off and we were immersed in the extremely beautiful scenery of the city. Suddenly, the balloon violently shook, causing me to lose my balance.
Are you alright?
When my eyes met Effie's, I could feel my face blushed heavily. At the end of the tour, he drove us back to the hotel. Goodbye, Effie. I hope we'll have a chance to meet again.
Me too. I wish we could get to know each other better.
He slowly leaned closer and our kiss was brutally interrupted by Pearl, followed by Layla. Get away, you gross! Crystal, let's head back to our room. We'll leave early tomorrow. Maybe because I was so tired that I slept very deeply that night. When I was dreaming of Effie's lips, I was awakened by a sound. Layla, what are you looking for? The phone charger. Can I borrow yours? Sure, it's here. Then I quickly fell asleep again. The next morning, all three of us woke up early to prepare for the flight. However, to my horror, I realized that the passport in my bag was gone. How could I get back to America without it? As I was desperately searching, I heard a familiar, obnoxious voice. Why does our Crystal look so panicky? Has she lost her passport? How do you know I lost my passport? Did you take it? Nah, you should ask Layla. I was surprised by Pearl's words. As soon as Layla stepped out of the bathroom, I quickly grabbed her. Where's my passport? I didn't take it. Stop joking around. I saw you rummaging through my bag yesterday. I need it back. Suddenly, the teacher called to us. The car is ready. Crystal, hurry up. I had to tell her the whole incident and asked her to wait for me.
I'm sorry, but we can't miss the flight for someone who can't even take care of their own belongings.
So the whole group left without me. Before leaving, the teacher told me to contact the embassy so that I could apply for a temporary passport and the crew would return to pick me up soon. At this moment, Effie called me. After hearing my story, he immediately said,
Wait there, I'll come over.
Thank God, I still had him by my side. Just 10 minutes later, Effie was there. When I got in his car, he panicked.
Darn, I forgot my wallet. Let's go back to my house for a bit.
It's okay, Effie, I can take the taxi. When he heard that, he immediately disagreed.
I can't leave you alone here. It's dangerous.
After convincing me for a while, I finally agreed to follow him home. But strangely enough, after 30 minutes, we still hadn't reached his house. I thought your house was near my hotel.
I suddenly forgot the way back.
Feeling something suspicious, I immediately asked him to stop the car. As soon as I got out, I fiercely questioned him. Are you hiding something from me?
No, why are you saying that?
Impatient about my trip to the embassy, I hurriedly hailed a taxi.
Wait, don't go!
He and I kept struggling until something fell out of his pocket. A wallet. Wait, didn't you say you left it at home?
Crystal, I can explain.
Suddenly, the ground shook violently, causing everyone to panic.
Run! It's an earthquake!
I was trying to keep my balance when I noticed the tree next to me was falling towards Effie. Careful! Unfortunately, the tree fell on top of my leg instead, and I was in immense pain. Effie rushed to help me get out of there and carried me to safety.
I shouldn't have helped Layla. If I hadn't kept you here, you wouldn't have been hurt.
What do you mean? It turns out that Pearl had tricked Layla into stealing my passport. If I missed the flight and couldn't return for another exam on time, my grades would be worse than Layla's. Knowing that, Effie agreed to cover for Layla so they could keep me in Turkey with him.
I'm so sorry, Crystal.
When the flight crew finally returned for me, Effie helped me explain everything to the teacher. That caused both Layla and Pearl to be fired from the airline internship program. I also forgave Effie, but I'm not ready to start over with him. But who knows what the future holds, right? I looked at the burning house in front of me, forcefully picked up a hammer to break the door. I will definitely save her! Then I rushed inside. Only about 10 seconds later, I was back with the cheers of my teammates. No big deal, you're welcome. Turns out, my dad unplugged my TV.
Stop thinking about becoming a firefighter.
That's it. You're watching the story of a 20-year-old Alina, the girl with a desire of being a firefighter. My dad, Walter Scott, was the coolest firefighter in the city and my idol in my heart. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I also had a twin brother named Ellen. We looked so similar that even my dad couldn't distinguish. The only difference between us was his highly passionate about ballet.
Look at that weakness. How can Ellen protect his sister?
Then let me protect him. I will be like you, the best firefighter.
No way. Get rid of that thought right now.
What was wrong with my dad? Why couldn't I become a firefighter? One day, after returning from the fire station, he brought back a leaflet and excitedly showed it to Ellen.
Look, there will be a firefighter career orientation course. I'll also directly instruct students.
Look at my brother's nonchalant eyes. It was clear he didn't care what Dad was saying. So great! Can I join?
Don't say nonsense. This is to train your brother to be a real man. Right, Ellen?
For some reason, Ellen suddenly got angry, snatched the leaflet from my father's hand, and tore it into pieces.
What do I need to learn from this malarkey to be a real man? You don't know anything, Dad!
Then he kicked my dad and me out of the room. That made my dad's mood worse.
Is my offer to Ellen excessive?
Then he said that he would have to be away for 10 days to teach that course, hoping that Ellen and I could take care of each other.
I really want Ellen to be a little stronger. Only then can I hand you over to your brother.
I tried to comfort him, but in my mind, I devised a horrible plan. My chances is coming. After my dad left, I would sneak around pretending to be Ellen and attend my dad's course. That night, I decided to cut my long hair, wrap my chest, and put on my brother's clothes. And look at me! I look really cool! When I was sneaking out step by step, I discovered a black shadow in front of me. Is that a thief? I rushed towards the thief and kicked his ass.
That hurts! Stop it, Alina!
Huh? Ellen? It turned out that my brother was also planning to sneak off to attend a ballet show at the David H. Coe Theater organized by his dance troupe. After listening to my explanation, Ellen didn't hesitate to give me his identification.
Take it. Let's make our dad proud.
I happily took it, then said goodbye to Ellen and set off. The course took place in a fire station. As soon as I walked in, my dad called me. Oh no, it should be my brother.
Ellen? It's really you, Ellen. Why did you suddenly change your mind?
Well, Alina spent last night persuading me. My father happily gave me a hug, but the hug seemed a little too long.
Dad? Why are two men hugging each other?
Hearing that, my father immediately let go of me, then looked at me from head to toe.
Well done, son. So, are you ready for the tough training?
Yes, sir. So the next day, I was woken up at 5 a.m.
Students must gather at the yard within 5 minutes!
But how can a girl prepare everything so quickly? By the time I got to the field, the other students had already run halfway around the field.
It's too late to appear.
I'm sorry.
Do you know that many people will be in danger if you're 1 minute late?
I immediately froze. Then I was punished by running while carrying a sack. After running 2 laps, I was exhausted. I realized my eyes were fading and what happened. I immediately fell into a guy with strong muscles. When I came around, my father was anxiously sitting next to me and holding my hand.
I think I expected too much from you. You should pack your things and go home.
No! I can do it. Give me another chance, please.
That's right. Give him another chance.
That was Neil, a student of the course and also the person who helped me when I fainted. After Neil and I begged him with all our might, I was finally allowed to stay. So from that day on, I woke up every day at 4 a.m. to practice running with a sack. I could feel the muscles on my arm already. The next day, we had climbing practice. It wouldn't matter if I realized this ladder was 90 feet high. I closed my eyes and climbed up quickly. Don't look down. Just a few minutes later, I climbed to the top. Yeah, I can do it!
You're so good, Ellen!
Neil's cheers from below spurred me on, but when I was about to climb down, I was dizzy. Why is it so tall? In the end, my dad had to use a crane to get me down. That funny incident was quickly spread by all students. Oh no, I couldn't embarrass my dad like that. Tomorrow I will definitely regain his face. The next day was the practice of putting out the fire. This would definitely be the hardest lesson. After learning all the steps to put out the fire by heart, I took a deep breath.
Next, Ellen Scott.
Before going forward, Neil even patted me on the shoulder to encourage me. I ran as fast as I could to the hose reel and headed straight for the burning building. Suddenly, the force of the water increased so violently, I completely lost control of it. I tried to turn it off, but the water force hit the ground and sent me flying like a jet. Of course, I couldn't avoid the mocking laughter of the other students and the depressed sigh of my father. With Neil's help, I returned to my room in a drenched situation. I had just taken off my wet shirt when suddenly my dad rushed in.
Ellen?
I quickly put my wet shirt back on. Dad,
have you seen it? Actually, I already know you're Alina.
As it turned out, right from the first day of the course, when my father recognized my familiar gesture, my true identity was easily revealed. All this time, he deliberately made the test more difficult because he wanted me to give up on my dream of becoming a firefighter. But why can't I follow my dream? My father just slowly pulled out from his wallet a picture of him with a girl who looked a lot like him.
That was my sister. At this time, I was still a normal student. She was a firefighter. Then she sacrificed herself to save me in a school fire.
That was why Dad didn't believe that women could become firefighters and didn't want such tragic things to happen to me. He hoped Ellen could protect me as a way of atonement for him to his sister.
You should pack your stuff and get out of here.
But before I could say anything else, the alarm suddenly rang and my dad received an emergency summons.
Emergency! Emergency! There was a fire at the David H. Cole Theater!
Isn't that where Ellen is performing? I begged my father to let me go, but he refused. So I decided to sneak into the changing room and steal turnout gear and sneak into the fire truck. When we arrived, the fire was so terrible. My dad quickly rushed inside. After a long time, I still didn't see him back, so I panicked and ran inside. Surrounded by the smoke, I tried to find and saw Ellen trying to lift the large wooden plank that was resting on my dad's leg.
Alina, go out! It's dangerous!
No! We will work together to save Dad! 1, 2, 3! Fortunately, the hardships I practiced in the course helped me successfully save my dad. After that, my father recovered very quickly from that accident. He also thanked me and gradually understood my dream.
I'm so proud to have a daughter like you.
Then I also confessed my identity to Neil. Although he was surprised, Neil was very understanding and always encouraged me to pursue my dream.